Hello, it's Jace. So I'm gonna keep my intro super short here because this is one of my longer videos. I'm doing something a little bit different today. Try and mix it up a little. I am doing an interview type of discussion video thing with Stickpilot. He's a good buddy of mine, and he's got his own channel, which I'm going to leave linked in the description below. Be sure to go check him out. He's really chill. His content's really good too, and I think that we both had some pretty interesting perspectives and ideas on what we're talking about today. What we're talking about is, of course, the Hytale delay and like whether or not it was a good decision, primarily, with a couple of other things thrown in there. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as I did while I was recording it. And again, be sure to go check out Stickpilot. And one last thing before I let the video roll, we actually have a Discord now, which I will also leave in the description. Be sure to go check that out and be sure to join. I'll be in VC semi-regularly, or at least I'm gonna like try to. I'm not gonna be in there like all the time, but I wanna be able to talk to you guys. So yeah, go check that out, and I will see y'all around. All right. Um, I'm not gonna do an intro for this. I'll just like do an intro for a voiceover because otherwise this will be like
Radio.
super fucking awkward for you. But like, we can just like
Shit
we
talk.
can just continue our little discussion of like this Hightail disaster, so to
Oh
speak.
yeah. It's honestly a very shitty disaster. I get like it's their own game. I've
Yeah,
already stated this, but come on.
yeah,
It's you're what I assume my guess and my assumption is that you guys are so close to being done with PC version.
yeah,
What's the point in like scrapping everything
yeah. Because
and then
that's a
just
lot
like
of code that you have to scrap,
you
presumably,
it's a
to like
lot
get
of
it on
code
there.
that you throw away.
Yeah, and I
It's
get
all
that that's kind of the point that they like want to make it more modular so that they can like put it onto the consoles. But again, like no one was expecting a console release at launch.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a console release at launch, neither a mobile game. Like I would say like a year down
Yeah,
or two, but like just to immediately take a game that what maybe is not even close but probably nearly finished and
right.
just throw it into the trash can and start from scratch.
Yeah,
Hours of time wasted just for it to be
yeah,
redone.
yeah. Again, it's like they were an author that was writing a book and they were almost done with the book, but in writing said book, they found out that they have become a better writer. So they threw the whole thing away and said that we're going to redo it completely from the ground up,
Yeah.
same plot, same everything. Like it's a waste of our and their time collectively to just scrap that much of what they've done so that they can completely redo it,
Yeah,
right?
and there's also the worry that they can't replicate what
Yeah,
the already Hytale has been created as for whatever code they've been running,
yeah,
and have it being like slightly either better or worse. There's no guarantee that they can 100% replicate how
yeah.
it looks,
And
unless they're using the exact same
and
textures and images and
yes,
models,
and
which they are most likely.
real quick, I should specify for the people watching, like they are not completely scrapping the game. They're just
No,
redoing a
they
lot
aren't.
of code. I mean, they may as well be completely scrapping the game, but like they're not getting rid of everything and like rebuilding it from the ground up. They're just scrapping a lot of code so that they can put it on consoles at launch, which is going to
Console
take
and
a ridiculous amount of time. And
yeah, that's why
personally,
it's taking like probably like 4 to 5 more
yeah,
years.
literally a year and a half of that like 2 year delay is just going to be doing that. And it's like and really that's something that can and should have been done post launch by a
Oh,
separate team
yeah.
of people.
Yeah. I guess since they're now doing this now that they
Yeah.
have more people, like you're saying with the book thing, they have more people that they can do it more.
Yeah.
But I wish they would have done it like within the same time frames. Like, oh, we have enough people to do this. Let's make an announcement that maybe the game won't be released until like next year,
Yeah.
and then like while when it's released next year, we can begin development on mobile and console, and it could be like the exact same thing, and then we can do a little Minecraft Bedrock thing, but not have it be terrible,
Right.
and link all three of them up together.
And I know that like one of the things that they're really afraid of is like having a quote Minecraft Bedrock edition where it's like a different version, so it's like dividing the community a little bit. But at the same
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
like the code for putting the game onto a PS4, an Xbox, PC, Linux, Mac, etc., it's all going to be different code as is.
yeah.
So I
It's all different codes.
yeah,
It's not going to be all 100% the
from
same.
what little programming experience I do have, that's sort of kind of how it works in layman's terms, because they all run on like their different programming languages. They all run on like different like OSs. They all run on different systems and software and
Different, or
stuff.
yeah,
So each port that they have of Hytale is technically going to be a different version, or at least like a different like subversion. So the code
yeah.
for it's going to
Subversion
be
of the
different as
original.
is, right?
Yeah, like
So
just off the bat, it's gonna be
going
different.
back and like scrapping a bunch of code just so that you can like that again, I don't see why that's something that's so pressing to get out at launch, right? Because it was going to be a pain in the ass either way. Like, let's be
Yeah,
honest. But why do we have to do that now, all of a sudden? Especially
like
after they
near.
already said that they don't want to have it on console at launch.
Yeah, like yeah. There's no understanding why it doesn't make full sense. If you're gonna do it like right on, like do it during development, do it like midway or near the end of PC's development, and then release PC, then do the other two, and then
Yeah,
like release them like a year or a year and a half later,
I've even
year or
got
two later.
I've even got the blog post pulled up right now. They said it's always been our goal to eventually release Hytale on mobile and consoles as well as PC, but it has become apparent that blah 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 we're not able to do that right now. They said the word eventually. It like
Eventually, yeah.
saying that
Key
it's like a
word, the
long-term
big,
goal. It's not
yeah.
something that they wanted to do like immediately. It's something that was looking into the future. So again, why do they feel the sudden need to do that like right now?
Mid development or
Like
near
mid
mid to
development,
end.
halfway through their original projected launch year, they just decided like, okay, we're going to go back and we're just gonna put it on everything now, even though we already said like we're not planning on doing that at least for like a while after launch. And I get that it would be really good for sales, right? But at the same
Yeah, yeah.
time, with how much hype this game has got on like the YouTube Minecraft community with like Captain Sparkles and shit, like not having it on consoles at launch isn't going to be like a bad thing for it, because like when they do eventually port it over, it's going to garner like a ton of hype, because like all the console kids that've been watching like Captain Sparkles play
Yeah.
Hytale are going to be like, "Oh, yes, I
Been
can
watching
finally get it
the
now." It's going to
they've
be
been
like a
watching the
second launch. Yeah.
yeah, it's like they've been watching like the dream team just like
Yeah.
playing Mike, Tommy, Tubbo, Wilbur Suit, and Nick Quackity.
Yeah.
Every one of them just like been playing it for like a couple years, and then just say, hey, yeah, we're releasing the console and mobile version like sometime this year. We don't know when, but
Exactly.
it is sometime this year, 100%. And then everyone's gonna be hyped to crap, and then those people can jump on in with the PC people already been playing.
Yeah, and coming back to the whole like different operating system thing between consoles, it's going to be a buggy mess when it comes out
It
too, since
is.
they're
It
releasing it
really
on
is.
everything at once, right? Because like if they just released it on PC and like it was kind of buggy but like not terrible, then they can like focus down all of the PC bugs and iron all that out super easy, then release it on console later and get all of those bugs ironed out immediately too. But if they
Yeah.
release it on everything at once, they're going to be flooded with like all the bugs from the Switch, all the bugs from the Xbox, all the bugs from the
Bugs from
PS4,
mobile,
from mobile, from
Xbox, even
PC.
the older
And
consoles,
again,
if they're even allowed.
they're all running on like different systems. So they're all gonna require like at least a little bit different of like coding and like little nitpicking to like figure all of those like issues out, just because of like the way that the consoles are built and how they run.
Yeah.
There's not gonna be like a magic wand solution to all of it. So like what they're doing now is they're basically kicking their launch in the nuts, right? Like
They're
it's
kicking it
it's
real
going to
hard.
be a buggy mess when the game comes out. Like
Yeah.
have you ever played Terraria?
I've played Terraria, yeah.
Have you ever played it on console?
Oh, I've played it on console. I've
Yeah.
played it on mobile, and yeah,
Yeah.
they are pretty buggy
Yeah, the console
sometimes.
releases are known to be like some of the worst ports ever, or at least they were a while ago. They've gotten a little bit better, but like
Oh
part of the
yeah,
issue
yeah,
was like they released on a lot of consoles like pretty simultaneously. Hell, they even released on like the 3DS, I think,
yeah.
right?
The
So
3D.
just all of those bugs got spread out between different versions, and Relogic had to just kind of like balance like what bugs
Like
they were
go
going to
between
fix.
the jump between each version
Yeah,
just
and
to like
a lot
fix
of
it.
those bugs and issues were like absolutely game breaking, like making the game
Yeah,
unplayable. So if you have a bunch of like complicated game breaking bugs between versions, that's going to be a rough fix. And again, coming from someone that has like a vague amount of programming experience, right? Like I have produced games before, not like good ones. I haven't put them on the market, but like I've like made some crappy like game projects, but like when you have a bug that's like game breaking, it is hard as balls to fix because you have
yeah,
no
it's
idea
true.
what's causing it half the time.
Yeah,
And even when you do, it is an absolute mess to try and fix it just because like computers are weird and finicky and
code
code
go burr.
code interacts with code in ways that like humans normally would not think it would work.
Like as soon as you would patch like some major game breaking bug, it's gonna like lay eggs of like 13 more
Oh yeah,
bugs.
literally. It like bugs in video games are hydras. Like once you fix
Yeah,
like look
cut
at
off
like
one's
Ark
head, it just
Survival
makes
Evolved.
more.
Look at Ark. Look at like any like crappy early access survival game that has come out in the past like 10 years at this point. Like all of them are basically buggy messes. And especially Ark, you update that game to fix one bug and like seven more bugs come in, you know. It
Honestly, yeah.
yeah, it's the whole like dictator that I know versus dictator that I don't know scenario, right? Like I'd rather
Yeah.
have the game breaking bug that I know how to avoid than have it get patched and have 13 more appear.
Yeah.
And the Hytale devs are setting that up, so they're gonna have to deal with that on like five different versions of the game.
Yeah, like they're gonna release like the on mobile, PC, console, and then like the other console variants, and they're having to go through each and every one of those variants
Yeah,
to fix that singular bug. And maybe those variants are gonna have the same type of bug, but different solutions to fix it.
yeah. It's gonna be a real problem for them, and like I know the reason that they're making this delay is so that they can have a better launch, and like
And more time to
yeah.
crack down on those
And I guess
bugs.
part of that quote better launch in their mind is like releasing on different consoles and stuff like day one, but like I think that's I don't think that's the move. I think that's gonna like cause an even worse launch for them than they could have possibly predicted otherwise. And
Oh
I don't
yeah.
think that they fully realize that because again, like they are a new studio that hasn't really released games like this before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like just like treat the PC one as like, hey, yeah, we're gonna also this is our learning experience. We've been developing this game for a couple years,
yeah,
but we're also gonna use it as a learning experience. So when we release Hytale, Hytale's of course gonna have a couple of bugs, maybe at least one game breaking one that will be fixed in like not
yeah,
even a week. But then
right.
like they can just learn with that and then jump to the next ones, what they're already in development, and then start fixing the bugs as they go.
Yeah. And personally, I don't really think I've like ever heard of games coming out on like every console at once on
Yeah.
launch day, right? Like I'm sure that it's happened with a couple games,
It's
but
usually like not even it's usually shooters that do that, but like
it's
a
usually like
sandbox
shooters like
game,
Call of
a
Duty
sand
and like
yeah,
very well funded studios that have the means to like do that without it being a huge issue, right?
yeah,
Like
but
Call of
Hypixel
Duty does
Studio.
that stuff. Call of Duty releases on like every console at once, like every year when they come out with a new game, and they have a team of like thousands of people with years of
Yeah,
experience at doing that exact thing, porting that exact game to those exact consoles, right? So they have
yeah,
a lot more experience than like Hypixel Studios, this like one-time new developer.
literally existing game company
Yeah.
that's not even been around for long and
So
only knows
we're putting a
Minecraft.
lot of faith in them to do something that like they're just not going to be able to do even with Riot backing them and Riot giving them like their experience. Like it's going to be a rough drive for them, especially cuz like I don't even think Riot Games has done anything remotely similar to this before either. Like their experience is
Yeah.
primarily with like shooters and MOBAs with like Valorant and
Shooters and
League and stuff.
everything
Yeah.
that's done on PC or even rarely like
Yeah.
mobile.
Like Riot is a very PC heavy company, and that's not to say that they don't have games on mobile and stuff, especially like with Valorant Mobile coming out like sometime in the future, and I think League is on like
Yeah.
basically everything, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't play League, so I wouldn't really know.
I think it's mainly just a PC thing.
It is definitely mainly a PC thing, but like they do have their fair share of experience with it, but again, like Hypixel Studios isn't going to have hundreds, if not thousands, of people that have experience porting games like this, like to different consoles, especially like games specifically like Hytale, like block-based
Yeah.
survival games. If Hytale was like a shooter, then like yeah, I'm sure that there's like hundreds of job listings for people that have experience like porting shooter-esque games into like other consoles, especially like that run on certain engines. But Hytale is not only a game that has only been done like once before successfully with Minecraft, but it is also running on its own engine,
Yeah, it's running on its own
which
engine.
is like even it's another problem because like it's not running on like Unreal Engine 5 or like another engine
that's
like I don't know, CryEngine or like Frostbite that's been ported between like consoles
every console and
over and
mobile.
over and over.
Yeah.
It's its entirely new thing that they're going to have to rein in. It is going to be a logistical nightmare for the team. So doing
Yeah.
that before launch, I can see why they would want to get it done before launch because it's going to suck for them to do after launch, but it's going to suck a lot more for their launch in the long run.
It is because who knows, that engine may like, hey, I don't like this. I don't like to be on console or I don't
Yeah.
like to be on mobile, and then just like short circuit and freak the frick out and have a temper tantrum while creating more bugs with it within itself.
Yeah. It's going to suck for them and I kind of feel bad for them, especially since like they're really convinced that like this is the right way to go, and I don't know, maybe it is. It's just from my experience of like waiting for games like this, like just and I know that sounds kind of cheesy, like my experience as a customer kind of thing, but like you know, like you've seen it happen as like someone that's like played games for like 10, 15 years, like
Yeah.
studios have made stupid decisions like this that have cost them like millions of dollars in the long run and have absolutely killed their game.
Yeah.
And I don't think that Hytale is going to be any different. I think that if they continue to like fumble the ball here, it's going to be dead in the water.
Yeah,
Especially with like how
it could.
buggy it's set to be at release at this point.
'Cause, I mean, they're wanting to do like what Bedrock is. I've already said this, but
Yeah.
they're wanting to do almost exactly or what's similar to what Bedrock is, where mobile can play with PC and console, but they're gonna have to like, I don't know, make it so like with mobile being like a very weaker kind of gaming area, and you can't have a lot of crap. They're either gonna have to
Yeah.
like figure out a way for have both other versions to work fine but not look like crap, or figure out a way that to make mobile work fine without blowing your phone up like a time bomb.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a rough situation. How
It
did
really is.
How do you feel about the stuff that they showed us off thus far? Like in the blog post, like character customization, combat, AI, etc.
Honestly, the combat AI is a solid like 10 out of 10. Like I look
Agreed.
at Minecraft, I look at the Minecraft AI and it's it's horse shit. Sorry if you're not if I can't curse, but it's
Oh
horse
no,
shit 100%.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't really care that much.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's fucking horse shit 100 freaking percent. Like you
yeah,
see like you'd expect like for them to have more kind of crap, but it's just the same like I'm going to walk this way and can't travel past. While with the Hightail AI, if you put a cliff, it's probably going to not like just sit there and just stare at you. It's going to jump over the cliff and beat your ass.
yeah. And again, it's an amazing combat AI, and I'm
It's
very
solid.
happy with it.
It
But
looks beautiful. Like
I
honestly on point. It's
yeah
actually looks like it will actually prove that, hey, I'm going to kick your ass if you're
Hmm.
not prepared for me.
10 out of 10 on the AI that they showed us thus far. But again,
Yeah.
are they adding that to every mob in the game? And if so, like, how
Oh,
long is that going to
hopefully.
take? Because,
I
like,
think,
we've seen, like, 70 plus mobs in the game thus far, and that's only, like, scratching the surface, because, like, half of them aren't
yeah.
even hostile mobs, right?
Oh, I mean, there's like freaking geckos, the gecko in the blog post,
I'm
and
looking at it right now, actually. Like,
yeah,
are they
like
all going to have some sort of, like,
fun.
overcomplicated AI like that? How are they going to optimize, like, complicated AI like that for mobile? Because I'm assuming it's going to be, like, running a lot of checks and a lot of, like, complicated commands.
Yeah,
And
that's the
computing that is going to be hard for, like, someone's, like, iPhone 11.
okay. Yeah, honestly, like I play Roblox on my phone when I'm like
Hmm.
I'm going on a long trip, and I'm telling you, Roblox makes my phone feel like a grill.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I'll take off the case and it is spicy freaking hot.
Yeah.
Like
Even
I'll have to like
Pokemon
set
Go,
it.
even Pokemon Go, like, makes my, like, iPhone 11, like, overheat sometimes when I'm
Yeah,
just, like, walking around.
and it's not good because it will if
Yeah.
it gets too hot, it's your phone's gonna say, hey, yeah, I'm gonna shut off, because that's what
Yeah.
phones do if they get too hot. They don't have a cooling system like a computer or a console with a
Yeah.
fan blowing. They have air cooling that's on the outside of the actual phone that's cooling it off, and that can take like 30 minutes to an hour
Yeah.
or
My
two.
even like my old phone, I think I had like an S7 or something. I forgot exactly what it was. I had it like 2 or 3 years ago or something like that. But even my old phone, if I was like on LTE and like watching YouTube, it would
Yeah.
start overheating. So how are they going to like run a game as big as Hytale in scale and complexity with like their AI and their combat and stuff? How are they going to one, optimize that? How are they
I
going
know.
to two, make it control well, especially with like the weird complex combat things with like the charging
Yeah.
attacks and all that? I feel like that's gonna like run kind of finicky. And three, how are they going to like integrate it well with other consoles?
Like, yeah, honestly, like it'll either work well or it won't.
Yeah.
It will react differently on each different one. Well, PC, it's most likely to handle it more because it's been coded on there for like what, the past 4 or 5 years now,
Yeah.
and computer can handle it. While it's just being like rewritten and put onto console and mobile, and they're each console are gonna lose their shit because they don't know what the hell's going on,
Yeah.
and it's gonna not be happy and be hot and spicy on the consoles.
Yeah. Again, I really think that they're setting themselves up for failure here because, like, they're a small-ish team at least. Like they've gotten a lot bigger than they were when they
Yeah,
originally announced the game, but they're still like pretty
a
small, at least in
a
comparison to
small
like
to
the
medium
AAA.
size.
Yeah. So I don't think that they have the manpower to do the things that they're trying to do right now cuz like the things that they want to do in the time before 2023, which is their current projected
Like
potential release year.
projected window and anything past it.
Yeah, like the things they want to do even before then, I don't think are going to be able to be done until like 2025 at minimum.
Yeah, at minimum, yeah.
And at that point, like I don't know. I just don't think that they can survive that long in development. I think that they're entering kind of a state of development hell at this point,
Yeah, and
which is really
perfectionism.
depressing. Yeah. Like
Because
I mentioned in the video that I guess by the time this goes up will have been posted either a few days ago or last week, that I think the devs are kind of tone deaf, you know? They're
yeah,
so focused on like scope creep and like the community's raising expectations, which like in reality, at least in my experience, doesn't exist in the Hytale community, right?
yeah,
Because ever
yeah,
since day one, they've said like we want you guys to like lower your expectations. We're a small team, blah 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 blah, and like we've all read those blog posts and been like, okay, we shouldn't expect a whole lot out of this game, but like from what we've seen thus far, it looks pretty good, you know.
yeah, yeah,
So we as a community for the past like 2.5 years now have done literally nothing except like lower our expectations of the game. you
Yeah, and
know?
then they kind of just like took our already low expectations and
Yeah.
then stomped it into the dust with this fat fetching delay.
Yeah. And the reason they're doing it is because they think that our expectations are getting exponentially higher. Because they keep
No,
mentioning scope creep. That like, oh, the longer the game's been in development, like the more they're expecting of us. So they're like,
we
we
are
really
trying to
want,
lower our
yeah,
expectations to it because
yeah,
like we don't know how the game's going to be. It
yeah.
could be extremely great or it could be like every other block game that has come and either fail or succeed.
I'm expecting it to be like big in the sense that it's like something new that's going to be done well,
Yeah.
that's going to be a legitimate competitor
It's
to Minecraft, but I'm not
yeah.
expecting it to like kill Minecraft or
Yeah, I'm not
anything.
expecting it to be like the Minecraft killer, like for it to just say, "Hey, yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
come in and just smack you off your throne and just push you off the floor and sit in your throne for the rest of my life."
I don't think
I'm
anyone
expecting it
expected
to
it.
be, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm expecting it to be like something where it comes up to Minecraft, kicks its nuts, and then just goes on its merry way while Minecraft like tries to compete with Hytale, and
Yeah.
then they compete back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for a Minecraft killer.
Yeah, especially like I don't think anyone expected it to like come out of the gates and like just take the gaming industry by storm. I
Yeah.
think that like they were expecting it to, if anything, be a sort of gradual inclination of popularity where people are like, "Oh, this is pretty cool," and then like more people start playing it, and then yada yada yada, and it, like becomes more interesting, more topical, and then maybe then it becomes big. Something similar to like how Minecraft rose to fame, but
Yeah.
no one's expecting it to be like the game of the century day one.
Yeah.
And
Honestly,
I think
no
that's
one's
what the devs
expecting
think is
that.
going to happen, or like I think that's what the devs think we think is going to happen. And I think so far that idea has been really painful for the development of the game because it's just not causing anything good to come out of it.
Yeah. Like honestly,
Yeah,
because they're just delaying the game more and more,
yeah,
and it's just we were expecting it. Everyone was expecting it to either at least like release like mid or end of this year or the beginning of next year, but we
honest.
weren't expecting it to be like released like the first release date canceled and just for it to be released like 5 more years down.
Yeah,
Like people want to play the game, but so don't extend it more. Like the other consoles, they can be developed like during Hytale's current development. And
yeah,
I know like each code is going to be different, so you can develop it during the PC Hytale, and so once that's released, you can find whatever bugs and like look into the other consoles release with those bugs, and if you find them, you'll already have a solution.
yeah. All right. Well, this video right now is nearing around 30 minutes, so I guess
Oh
like
God.
I'll end it after we give kind of our final thoughts on the game, or at least like the blog post. So like I don't know. Do you have any like finishing little tidbits or like opinions that you want to give before we wrap this up?
Honestly, no. I think that's just all of it.
Yeah.
Everything in the what how it looks from like the art style and everything is just 100% solid 10 in my book.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think the game looks amazing, and I think it's always looked amazing ever since that they've announced it. But I think that the devs have been kind of tone deaf to like what the community
Yeah.
wants. I think that they're becoming more perfectionists than the people that are willing to buy it at this point, and I think that
Yeah,
that's becoming really dangerous for the game.
it
And
is.
this whole delay situation and like the reason for the delay and like all the things that they want to do, I think it's going to kill the game at launch because it's going to turn it into a buggy mess just because of like how much work it's going to be for the devs. I don't think it's something that they can do with the amount of manpower that they have now, and I think this decision is like really detrimental to the game, and I hate to say it,
Yeah.
but I think it could possibly outright kill it.
Just right out the door, it's going to just step outside and get spawn killed immediately by like bugs, issues, and everyone not liking how it is.
Oh, literally, yeah. Like
It's
that
gonna
could be how
get
it goes down.
it's gonna get bullied, and then people are gonna jump like right back to Minecraft. People are gonna still play Hytale, but it's not gonna be as big as Minecraft or somewhat as large near it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna end this here. I hope you guys enjoyed our little discussion on this. Um, you guys should also go and check out Stickpilot's channel. I will link it in the description. He makes good content. He's got some really funny edits, and I think that if you enjoy my content, you'll enjoy his as well. So, with that said, I will see y'all in the next one, and have yourselves a damn good one. Peace out.